gorgeous people. So I'm back, Suze from Crowfire Talk. I want to do a second video on to cleanse or not to cleanse. That is the question. Well, we've answered the question. The question is yes. So now I want to go a little bit deeper into. Let me take a sip of water. I have got some. My throat is really playing up. It is Odin's Day, a Wednesday, so it is about communication, and and it's been like niggling me all morning. Like, you need to do some more. You need to talk some more. You need to talk about different ways of cleansing. I've always found it interesting. Being a witch, I do work with the elements, the directions and all of that, and earth, air, fire and water and spirit has always been my foundation in a lot of stuff that I do. And if we look at cleansing using the elements, oh my goodness, we've got just so many things. So let's start with earth. Earth, you can do quite a bit with the earth element to cleanse, because you can make it very physical. So you can dance, you can shake off energies, you can move about, and you can like really cleanse. And as you're dancing about, as you're moving, as you're, releasing stuff, you can also bring in, say, the violet flame. So like, I don't in England, I don't know if it went to other places in the world, but there was a program called The Tales of the Unexpected. I think I'm a bit wonky. And there was a lady dancing in the flames, and that always reminds me of that sort of really cleansing. And you can imagine the flames. So even though you're working with the earth element, the fires come in there, so you can do that. Obviously with earth, I mean, again, I find sound, I know that's, see, the elements are so entwined. I'm trying not to go off track, but the elements, they all mix together, they all combine, it's all alchemy. And so when you're thinking of sound, you've got the air element, but it's quite physical. So, if you're looking at sound as an earth element, air element, you can get your drum. So, oh goodness, I've got a lot of things on the table and I'm just trying to knock everything off. So we got the drum, and oh my goodness, you can dance around with this. You can move it all around you. Bless her, she's a bit thuddy. She probably needs a bit warming up. So you would go round, you could dance round with it, you can just sit and you can just cleanse. I mean, drumming is great to journey and stuff like that. So you could take yourself on a journey where you are, going somewhere where you're going to cleanse, where you're going to get in the river and really wash everything off, where you're going to stand in a waterfall and wash everything off. So sound is always great. And like I said yesterday, tuning forks, gongs. I've got a tuning fork here, although I haven't got a rubber mallet here. I don't know, it's not going to work on my knee. But this particular one is actually a 4096, which is actually to cleanse crystals. Well, we are crystal beings, so we can cleanse ourselves with it. Oh, it's making a little bit of a sound, but it's great to clear your crystals, that particular one. But you've got whole sets of chakra tuning forks. So it's endless there. Like I say, gongs. There's so much music out there. Solfeggio, you know, and then you can go to YouTube and put in Solfeggio for cleansing. You'll get, oh my goodness, you'll just get loads of stuff come up. Sound again, rattles, lovely. I love rattles, actually. Rattles are really great to really get in there. Great for corners of the room. I haven't got my tinctures here. Oh, there was my singing bowls. Yeah, tinctures are great. Bells are great. And the other thing with like earth elements is crystals. Now this is a proper selenite piece. You can tell it's true selenite because it's clear, whereas Satin Spar, which is often sold as, I'm gonna just get a piece. Goodness, Odin. He's not let me speak properly, and it's Odin's day. Oh, I got rainbow moustache. That's good. So that's Satin Spar, and that's often sold as selenite. It is not selenite. That's selenite. It's clear. Selenite is clear, and a lot more expensive. This is a comb. It's called a selenite comb, and it's to go through your aura. And it is absolutely gorgeous, and you can feel like when there's anything stuck there or anything you want to work on, you can feel that. This one is one I made with a beautiful piece of kyanite. It's gem quality kyanite, which is great for healing. And again, oh my goodness, that is just awesome. You can use different crystals. Don't be shy. Don't think, oh, well, that's not a cleansing crystal. If you get drawn to use something, use it. Just go for it. Your soul knows more than the books, more than the so-called experts. You'll know. This is a piece of shungite. Again, lovely. Different sort of energy there. There's something gunky there. That's actually pulling more than these two, which are known more as a sort of higher sort of chakra vibrational, because obviously that's black, it's more earthly. So, you know, you've got the more higher and lower is so wrong, and that's what messes everyone up. But I could digress here and go off in complete different tangents, so I'm going to really try and stick with what I'm doing. So earth, so we've got sound, dancing, like I say, there's music, there's I have hundreds of spiritual CDs, because back in the day and I come from back in the day, I used music so much. I used it in all my groups, my teaching of Reiki and everything, all my teachings, and I just love it. And for me, it's easy. I've got a CD player. I've got a huge, great load of CDs. I still use them. Obviously, you can stream stuff nowadays. There's just so much more you can do. But I've got favorites that are, you know, you can no longer get anywhere. They're not on a streaming platform. And I absolutely adore them and have used them for years. And, you know, I'm going to carry on using them until I can't. One of my absolute favorite for cleansing is storm, is the storm element, and the energy and power of a storm. And when you look at a storm, we've got basically all the elements in there. We have got earth, we have got fire, we have got air, you know, we've got the water. This is going to be a very interesting video if my words completely dry up all the time. So all the elements are within storm, and storm for me really cleanses my aura. And I also like I like the rain. I like the sound of the rain. And you know, do we want to go out necessarily and stand in the rain and get soaking wet? Well, yes, sometimes it is nice. But, you know, you can do it in the comfort of your own home and have a really deep cleansing experience, because you can put on, again, I do virtual walks in a rainforest, not a rainforest, a forest with heavy rain. And oh my God, I love them. And so basically it's like a guided visualization, but it's more real. Obviously I'm not walking, it is virtual, but it's very different to doing a guided journey with your eyes closed. It's really interesting. It's between that and then between actually doing a walking meditation. It's just amazing. I love it. And I do that a lot. The other crystal I use quite a bit, this one is amethyst, and I did say yesterday I use mostly ametrine for using for the violet flame, but I use this little generator. To me it looks like a flame. It's just the shape of it and everything. Now that I've used on me, and I've imagined that energy just clearing and cleansing as I'm doing it. You can do that. You can lie down with your favorite crystal and just imagine everything dissipating and going. Again, that's more of an earthly cleansing, because it's quite a physical thing, because you're placing physical objects on your body. So that's some earth type ones, and there'll be so many more in there, and I'll finish the video and I'll think, oh my goodness, why didn't I say that? Why didn't I do that? Now the air element is really interesting, because we all basically know so much about the earth element, because, you know, the good old sage, near enough everyone knows about sage. People that aren't into you know, spiritual inclined things, I mean, even they talk about sage, okay, normally in a jokey way, or why don't you sage the place, and it's more of a sarcasm, but you know, it's good, fantastic. I mean, some people don't like it, and obviously if you've got like asthma and things like that, it's probably not the best sort of way of cleansing for you. I love it. I use it a lot. I love all sorts of incense. So, you know, you can use an incense stick, just go round you through your aura. You can, you know, you can use oils put on your hands. And again, that's a combination. It's quite a physical, but it's still air. And you can put that all around you. Palo Santo wood is also, you know, there's also essence and oils and things. Obviously you need to know all the disclaimers and things for like essential oils. There's a lot in essential oils, so if you're not really familiar with a lot of it, then, you know, you maybe want to speak to someone who knows about aromatherapy and oils and how to use them properly. I use what I know is safe and good and okay for me. I can struggle with smells because of my fibromyalgia, but I've always found that more natural oils and things are fine with me. It's when you get those highly scented candles, they are just very toxic for me. They're no good at all. You know, you can combine with the fire and put oils on a candle. So we're going to talk a bit more into the candle work and fire and flame. We'll stick with air, and obviously with air, you know, with sage you can just do it round you. If you've got a sage stick, it's really simple. But another great way, and even without anything, so if you really felt more connected to the air element, but you know you can't use the sort of smoking, if you've got asthma and things, you can use a feather. Oh my good God, that's all you need to do. If you combine a feather with sage and stuff, it's amazing. But honestly, you don't need to. You can just clean off. Now, one thing that I do a lot is when I feel like, oh, I could really just clear out my aura, just move, you just shift it. I then imagine whatever goes into the air. I think mostly it just dissipates. I don't think it collects in corners and things like that. But I don't want it to collect in corners and things like that. So I do actually say, you know, whatever's in the room after I finish to be cleansed, transmuted and cleared with the violet flame normally, because it's just so easy to use. You just say it and it's done. That's the, you know, the thing with the air element. You know, it's your voice. It's speaking. I mean, you know, we say things, we create spells with our voice by things that we're saying. So, you know, there's power in that. So, you know, you can use your voice. You can cleanse a crystal with your air. You know, if you think of Odin and Odin's breath, and you know how powerful that is with Odin. I mean, we have that within. I mean, you can say you've got crystals that you know, so satin spar really is very delicate, not one that you'd want to necessarily put water in or in water. So with that, you call in your Largus energy, your rune, your Largus, and you just blow. And you imagine the Largus going through it, cleansing it, releasing it of anything that it, you know, is not necessarily negative. Could be. A lot of people, when they buy new crystals, they cleanse them, and people say to cleanse them. I don't often like get home and cleanse a crystal because if I've picked up a crystal and the energy connects with me and I connect with it, then I don't see the need to cleanse it. If I picked up a crystal in a shop and I didn't like the energy because there was negative energy there, then I wouldn't be attracted to it. So that's a minefield. We're not going into that right now. We may that may be a great subject to go on, but they do pick up stuff. They do, you know, and I have noticed over the years, I mean, I've got a lot of crystals. You know, it would take me, oh God, a good week to clear off everything. I have stuff everywhere. I'm a crafter. You know, this side of my room is crafting stuff. I've got dust and stuff that comes off of my fabrics and things like that. So, you know, you can go around my room, you're going to find dust. I use incense, you know, get dust off that. Dust is in the air. And, you know, but if I'll look at a crystal and it'll look a little bit sad, I get the feeling that it's a little bit sad. And then, you know, as long as it's okay to run underwater, as long as it's a crystal that's going to be safe with water, and most of mine are, because I tend to gravitate towards quartz and quartz derivatives, citrine, ameturine. Fluorite is normally okay in water, really. It's pretty fine with that. It's just don't put it in the sun because it'll lose its color. Same with amethyst, really. So I tend to wash a lot of mine, and if I look at the shelf and think, oh my goodness, I really need to clean that, and the energy gets a bit stale, it's not necessarily negative, But it's like us, you know, if we're feeling a bit down, we might go and have a haircut and then we just feel alive and new. Well, crystals have this. So you run a crystal underwater or put it in, you know, some water and cleanse it all. It sparkles. It's like, yay, and you can feel the zing again. So it, you know, it's great for that. A little bit of digressing there, but sort of goes with what we're talking about. So you know, with the air element, we've got lots of things that we can do, but a lot of the air element ones tend to be ones that some people can't use. So like the incense, I love frankincense and myrrh on like charcoal. Charcoal, nightmare to light half the time. Then it just goes mental when you get this black plume. And I've got good charcoal and it's like and you know we're living where we've got a lot of fire alarms and things to keep us all safe and stuff, so they all go off. So you know, I mean, I think the best one for air is your voice and, you know, feather, something like that. And I'm sure there's lots of others. You know, if you think of sound, sound is part of the air element because it travels and it, you know, it's vibration and sound. So like I said, there's crossover with the elements. So the fire element, again, we can still look at incense and stuff because we light it. So there is the fire element there. There is the fire element in dance because there's the passion and all of that, and even, you know, in sort of drumming and stuff. I wouldn't say that there's no fire in drumming, and that's, I think there definitely is, but obviously the main one with the fire element is fire itself, and the main one to use is a candle. So now with the candle, I'm gonna put it down, but here's the candle. So it's in front of me. So imagine the flame is lit, and I'm sort of at the candle. So the candle's here, the flame is here, and then I'm bringing the flame into my aura. So again, with this, we can add in the air element, we can speak, we can make a spell, we can go, I cleanse and clear my aura of any energies that are no longer needed for me, or that come from somewhere else, or come, you know, I mean, you can say the word negative. I try not to be honest. Unless I really feel that there is really strong negative energy around me, and that doesn't really happen very often. It's just really unwanted. I want to dissipate the energies that aren't necessarily mine. So, and you can go through a lovely little ritual ceremony with just a candle, and just I take the energy of the flame into my crown chakra to clear and cleanse my crown chakra, so it's working perfectly for me at this time. I cleanse and clear my third eye, so it's working perfectly for me at this time, and so forth down your chakras. I cleanse and clear my energy bodies, so they're working perfectly for me at this time. I always say that because early on in my chakra practice, I realized that, you know, sometimes our chakras are open for a really good reason, or they're closed for a really good reason, and we tend to try and use our mind to explain things, to understand things, and we can get quite jumbled up with that because our mind is not always going to be able to articulate and give us the understanding of what is going on in our energy bodies. We may feel that stuff is going on, but we can't put it into words. We can't find a way of expressing it. So I always say that my chakras, my energy bodies are working perfectly for me at this time, because the universe, my higher self, my soul all knows what that means. And if that means that my throat chakra is a bit blocked, that's fine, because you know that will get cleansed. I'll get the inspiration that I need to work on my throat chakra. Like today, I feel that there's something going on with it, but it is a communication day. It is Odin's day. Did I just need to do this video and I just needed to express? It might be that I'm getting a bit of a sore throat. It could be, you know, anything. So I need to bring myself back. I've gone off again. Yeah. So to me, that expresses everything lovely when I use that statement, working perfectly for me at this time, because the next minute can change, and that's fine. That gives my whole being the correct wording for me. Yeah. I may be able to explain that at a later date, some point. I don't know. It just works for me, and you know, I've been doing this a long time now. So I generally, unless I come across something which I feel, oh my goodness, that is way better than what I've been doing for the last 20 years, then I'll change it. I have no problem changing. No problem believing something very, very strongly, and then the wisdom kicks in, or I'm shown something else, and then I can change that immediately. Some people, I think, have found or find that really hard, because they would see themselves as being fickle and, you know, sort of moving from one thing to the other. But I just think it's how we grow and expand, and it just, I'm quite happy to change my thinking. If someone else gives me a better way, or broadens my horizons with something, then I'm quite happy to look in a different direction. But to be fair, I've never found a better direction than that, and it's been with me since the beginning. And it was direct from spirit. I sat and I was doing stuff, and I just said, perfectly for me at this time, and it's never gone and it's never changed, and it just works. So yeah, so our candle flame, this, you know, you can do it with a bonfire. You know, stand next to a bonfire, you can call in that energy to cleanse and clear your whole being. You know, flame's obviously a little bit harder. I find I love working with the fire element, and I find that working with the fire element more ethereally, more energetically, you know, with the purple violet flames, with the black flames of Kali, you know, with a flame from the Kinaz rune, flame from the Need Fire rune, you know, working in that sort of way. Obviously with the flame, I mean, you know, we're going to get burnt if we if we try and do much more with real fire. So yeah, so water is pretty simple, because again, the water element one is one that really connects with the earth element, because it can be so physical. So you can have a shower, you can have a bath, you know, lovely essential oils in there, so you're getting a bit of the air element in there as well. I mean, it's so simple with the water element. I mean, because it's not like fire, it's not going to burn us, it's not going to do us any harm, you know, unless we stay in the bath for like 7 hours and we come out like a little prune. Well, I'd be a big prune, but nevertheless a prune. So yeah, we, you know, and we drink water. I've done, I don't know whether I've got it here. I tried to gather all that I want. Oh yes, I have. Here we go. I have burnt a coaster for my Uruz rune, which is a great rune actually to use for grounding sort of energy as well. But it also connects higher, so you know, but if you get like a little coaster, and you could put any of the symbols on for earth, air, fire and water, and then you could put a glass of water on and just sort of like let it charge up, and you know, drink that water. I mean, you can do it with the runes, so you can take the energy of the runes into your body. You know, you can draw symbols over food. Learnt that with Reiki. You know, you can use a wand, you can use your finger, you can actually use your eyes to draw, you know, imaginary over stuff. You're in a restaurant, you don't really want to get out your wand and start going over your food. I think that would be quite fun, actually. Take a group of people out and we just go to a restaurant and all get our wands out. It would be hilarious. Oh god, that really does need to be done. So you know, you use your eyes, but when you're thinking like with like drawing an element, a symbol over something, then again you've got a few of the elements in there working again. And it's really cool to do that. Largus obviously would be the sort of main rune I would think of using for cleansing, you know, doing it like this and having your water on it. But I mean, you don't need to do this. I mean, with this, you've got the earth element because you've got the wood, you've got the fire element because you've burnt it on, you know, used pyrography. And then you've got the water element with the thing, with your glass of water on, and so you've got, is air in there? I think air would be in there because I think air is sort of all around us anyway, and although you could speak it, so you could put your glass on there and you could say, I charge this water with the Largus rune to clear and cleanse me while I drink it, or you know, whatever way you want to say it. You could say, I charge this water with the violet flames to cleanse me. I mean, there is just a million things. I mean, this video would go on forever, or it would be a sort of, I don't know, 50 odd episodes of this, because there's so much you can do, and your imagination, which is the air element, when you start doing things, that's when you connect in to a level that then the energy can come in. So that's why, you know, someone goes to a class and learns something and they come away with the knowledge of what they've learnt from the class. So they learn all the things that are to do with that class, all the elements are put together, and they come out with this knowledge. With that knowledge, they then can use it in so many ways with their own imagination, their own inspiration, and they can change something and, you know, do something different, but they've still got that foundation from what they learn. And that's often what happens with stuff. You suddenly, you know, I noticed it on the rune course. It was amazing. Like, we were all different, but all, you know, wanting to learn the runes. And we'd all done a lot of different spiritual things, you know, healing and all sorts of things. And then as we started learning the runes, we were learning exactly the same stuff. You know, this stuff was the awakening program from Maggie. It was all her stuff that she'd learned over the years, and then she put it together. We were all learning the same things, and we started working with the runes, and then we were going off in different places with what we were learning, which was the same stuff, because that is the joy of being human, and the joy of connecting in with your higher self, letting spirit talk through you, because you just make things your own. You know, we don't want everything to be the same. We want flavor. We want those, you know, people doing different things. I know sometimes as an artist I get like really forlorn and stuff. I look at someone's work and I think, oh my good God, I would just love to draw like that. I'd love to be able to do that. And I can feel a bit, but you know, I do my own thing. It's and the more you accept that you're just you and you do that your way, then the more things flow, and then the better your work gets, and then, you know, the more happy you get with what you're doing, and then you stop looking at others and thinking, oh, I wish I could do that. Excuse me, my throat is still a bit funny. So, gone off on a tangent. What do you expect? I always go off on a tangent. That is my superpower. I think that is really, truly my superpower. So, yeah, so we were talking about water. We were talking about drinking stuff and cleansing. And I love the aspect of, you know, that you can use water to drink or to bath or to stand in the shower, but you can etherically stand in a waterfall in a forest in the middle of nowhere, you know, this magical land, and you can turn the water into, like, you know, rainbow water and things like, you know, and so you can use your imagination. The air element comes in there when you're doing that. So, you know, the water is purifying and it is cleansing. Obviously you've got other things like, you know, a steam room, a sauna. I did a sweat lodge years ago. You know, that sort of thing. You can do that type of thing, to which cleanses on so many different levels. Then, you know, that's totally physical, totally your physical body, but also it is, you know, it still is your energy bodies and everything else. And then there's like little nuances of things, like when you're cleansing with like crystals, and you know, you pick a certain crystal, and I say go with it. If you know, there are certain crystals that are seen more as a crystal that will cleanse, but you know, if you are drawn to some other crystal that isn't seen as that, but you're really drawn to use it for that, then I honestly say go for it. And there's things like colours as well. You know, colour's so important, because there'll be days where you feel like maybe you want like purple throughout your aura, or maybe you want blue. I mean, this is why we pick different colours to wear, you know, quite often, or certain things to do with colour. I mean, you know, people will decorate and then they'll redecorate because they feel that they need that change. I mean, I'm definitely more a maximalist sort of person. I like colour. I'm not into neutrals and stuff like that particularly. It doesn't, you know, for some people neutrals are the best thing because they feel that it's so calming. I actually don't feel calm in neutral space. I find it really uncomfortable for me. It just doesn't work. Minimal spaces don't work for me. you know, that's because I'm just different than a lot of other people. And I don't think any color is horrible, or any space is horrible, minimal, maximalist, in the middle. It doesn't matter. It's just what vibes with you. And that can change at any moment because your energies do change. So, you know, color with cleansing can be quite important. I do various types of meditations where I will, like a guided journey where we go to cleanse and clear the chakras. And I've done it in pools of water. I've done it in waterfalls where the waterfall then, you know, turns each color of the rainbow. I've done crystal beds that light up. I've done so many things over the years, because then you're connecting in with those colours. I mean, literally, there's so many, I can't even think of them all. I've got to just take a sip. So, yeah, so I'm afraid this video has gone on way too long. I should have cut it into two. So I'm going to stop now. Thank you for watching if you do. I know it's really long and I do apologise for that. Thank you if you've already subscribed and you're following my videos. I hope you're enjoying them, even if they are a tad too long and I go off on a tangent. And if you're new, if you're stuck with the video, thank you so much. And if you could thumbs up and like the video, that would be great. And I shall see you in the next one. Just because this is just too long and I want to end it. There may be more on this cleansing, but cleansing with earth, air, fire and water, the elements. There's millions of other ways, and I'm sure if you start working, you'll come up with some amazing ideas. If you want to share them, that'd be great. So love and blessings to everyone, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.